Welcome, welcome. It is Women's History Month, and here on Living a Rich Life, we are kicking it off. So welcome to another week of Living a Rich Life. I am your host, Rich James. Here on Living a Rich Life talk show, we inform, inspire, and encourage each other to live the principles of Living a Rich Life Network. Those principles are good health, strong relationships, financial freedom, goals and achievement, extraordinary experiences, and philanthropy. We all have a story to tell, and today's guests are no different. With that being said, let's talk about it. Today's first guest, she is appearing on the show for the second time. She is a singer, songwriter, musician, and attorney. Several of her notable hits are Center of Attention, You Belong Here, a favorite of mine, and also Here With Me. Her recent single, Nothing Else, featuring TT the Artist and Mighty Mark, was recently selected for the International Music Video Underground via filmfreeway.com. To kick off the show, we have the one and only Sunny Cowell performing a sample selection of Nothing Else featuring TT the Artist and Mighty Mark. Sunny, welcome.
Hello. All right. You ready for the sample?
Give us a sample.
Okay. Ooh, yeah. What you're staring at, haven't seen you around. Don't look away, get close to me. I guess it's been a while, you always look like that. Penny for your thoughts, sitting next to me. To be fair, I don't want to waste your time, no. And I'm ready for someone like you. You impress me, enthrall me. I don't think there's anyone better. You intrigue me, it's charming. I see that nothing else matters. Ooh, 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 ooh.
Yes, I love it. This type of entertainment only happens here on BeExposedRadio.com. For those that are just tuning in and watching, please welcome again the talented Mrs. Sunny Cowell. How are you doing, Sunny?
I'm doing well. I'm gonna turn this off now.
Yes.
Great.
Well, I gotta say, welcome back. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you. Nice to be back.
Well, good to have you back. So I want to get right to it, because Nothing Else, which has a lovely beat, if I can say lovely. What was the driving factor to create Nothing Else?
So, I was kind of looking at my catalog and I was thinking, I don't have any true love songs there. So I thought, okay, this is an opportunity to create, now that I'm married and everything, that's recent. I was like, let me create an actual love song. Because normally, I write about love a lot, but a lot of times it's not just a straightforward, like, I love you kind of song. It's usually some nuance to it. And I wanted to stick to that nuance, but at the same time, I wanted to be a fun sort of holiday or summer single, something that people could just feel good listening to. And so Mighty Mark, my producer, sent me over a beat and I thought, oh, okay, I really like this. And I was able to just build off of it. And really nothing else. It's about rekindling love, because it's about, knowing somebody for a while and, not really being too sure about them, but then you're ready for them. And then all of a sudden you're like, nothing else matters. You're the one.
Nice. A nice little love story.
Right.
So congratulations, because yes, as you mentioned, you just recently got married. So we're gonna get a little personal here. So how is the married life treating you?
Oh, I love it. It's good. It's going well. And it's a true test because, it's the pandemic, and I guess it's still recent, but we got married in 2020. So
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
so it's been a little while now, and I feel like, we're getting that test of, okay, well, can you really stand each other? It's like, okay, well, yes, we can. We're together all the time because of the pandemic. So it,
Okay.
I think it's going well.
Nice, nice. Well, tell your husband I said hello.
I will.
Uh, so let's talk about, because again, some of your favorites, some of my favorites actually. You belong here, which that was what year was that came out?
Well, that came out March of 2020. So right before everything went to hell, basically, is when that
Right,
came.
right, right.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, because that was one of my favorites. So
Mhm.
when you got the beat for Mighty Mark, you just said, hey, you sat down. What does that process look like when you start writing your songs?
So I guess it depends on whether I'm writing it myself or if I'm writing with Mark. So you want to know about the process with Mark?
Yes,
Or
the process with your producer, and then tell us what that process looked like, because I'm sure it wasn't every single hour you was with Mighty Mark.
right. Yeah, exactly. And actually some of my songs on the upcoming album, they've been revamped songs. Like Here With Me, I did an acoustic version of that back in 2015 on my first EP. So, I already had that song written, and then Mighty Mark, listened to the song and basically just said, okay, this is how we can make the song current and sort of fit within this R&B landscape. Because before it was just very acoustic and singer-songwriter, but I think we tried to keep the best elements from the original version of that song. So it's all about, harmonies, and you have that kind of 1990s nostalgia, like listening to Drew Hill or Boys to Men or something like that. But it's a woman, of course. So we tried to keep the uniqueness of that track, and then Mark, added that kind of, Baltimore club or sort of like trap beat behind Here With Me to make it current.
How long did it take, studio time to create Nothing Else?
So, and so with Nothing Else also, so yeah, Mark started with the beat. And for a lot of the other songs that aren't built off a song I already wrote, it starts with Mark, just sending me like the skeleton of the beat and then building on that. But in terms of studio time, we actually didn't spend any time in the studio because, this all happened, like I said, during the pandemic. I decided, okay, let me build my own at-home studio. So Mark guided me through that process and basically told me all the equipment I needed to get. So I did that. I invested in my home studio, and the entire album, all 10 songs, I recorded at home.
Oh, nice,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
So as you mentioned, this upcoming album, and I know normally how this works. There's a single, and then an album drops somewhere out of the air.
Right.
What's the name of your upcoming album? Can you share that with us?
Sure. It's called Anthology of Love.
Hmm. Okay, so that goes back to the whole love story thing that you got going on.
Right. Yeah. So that's the kind of the one theme. All my songs are different, but that's the one theme that they have. Even though they're not related to each other, I figured, okay, it's like an anthology.
Okay, that's the problem when I got to get me a home studio because I got my son coming in the door.
Oh, that's
I tell
okay.
you, boy,
It happens.
it happens. It happens. It
Yeah.
happens. So how many songs are on this album?
So we got 10 songs on this album. And so Nothing Else and Here With Me are both on that album.
Okay, okay. And how long did it take you to do the actual album? Because I don't think I heard that.
Oh yeah. So it only took me, it was pretty quick, between like 3 and 6 months.
Okay, I guess is that the norm? What's the normal process for
Well,
it?
some people take a really long time to record an album, but I guess it depends on if you have all your songs ready or not. But maybe it was probably 3 months, that a 3-month period that I just recorded. And then after that, it was just, getting it mixed and mastered, sending it out to people, engineers who were working in a studio. to get the sound right and all of that. But I was motivated when I decided to do this album.
Yeah. So what keeps you motivated, right? So you got married, you had a couple of some major life events happening.
Right.
What kept you motivated? And I do want to say my condolences. I know it's been some time. Your dad passed away, who was, I've seen him perform and I've seen you perform with him, and he's been pretty instrumental in your career. So what has kept you motivated over these last, couple of years?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think my dad had a lot to do with sort of my burst of motivation, this time, because he had already passed away. He passed away in December 2020. So it was around January, February that I said, you know what, I have to get this album out, because I hadn't done a full album yet. I had just done an EP, a long time ago. And so it just kind of showed me that, life is short. Luckily, he did so much in his life that I was motivated by that. The fact that he was really at peace when it was his time to go. And I thought, if something were to happen to me right now, I would not be at peace with that, because I have so much to put out. I have so much to do. And so I thought, no, this is urgent. I have to get an album out. Heck, I need to get 5 albums out as soon as possible. So yeah. So
understandable. That's a good motivation. And again, for those that are just tuning in and watching, we are talking with Mrs. Sunny Cowell, singer, songwriter, musician extraordinaire. So how long have you been singing? Just to refresh, because again, you shared that with us when you first came, but how long have you been singing?
Yeah, I've been singing pretty much my whole life, probably since about 5 years old, going back to just being in plays and school and doing talent shows and stuff like that. But it wasn't until probably the last 3 to 5 years that I, started actually putting out music and deciding to do something with it.
Nice. And did you write your first song? I hear that you wrote your first song at a very young age.
Yeah, I wrote my first song at 5, and it's called "Hear Me One." Hear spelled Hear, Hear Me One, and it's on my dad Stanley Cowell's album by the same name. I think it did come out in 1995, 1996.
Okay, so, well, we was having trouble finding that bad boy, because we were looking. It was like,
oh really?
Well, she wrote. One of my guys said she wrote a song at 5 years old. Yeah, if she said it, if it's there, it's out there in the ether. I said, just find it for me. So, but I figured just the same, you could share with us that information. So
yeah, I'll send you a link.
Okay. So speaking of links, how can our viewers hear your music? So share with them your social media, as well as how they can get a hold of some of your music and download and listen to.
Sure. So my songs that are out so far, all of them that you mentioned, they're on all streaming platforms. So you can go to Spotify and follow me on there. You can go to Apple Music. You can go to Tidal. It's on SoundCloud, YouTube, all of your streaming platforms. And if you like the song, you can also share it on social media. It's on TikTok and Instagram to be used as a sound if you want. But you can find me on Instagram at Sunny Cowell Music.
Okay.
And you can find me on Twitter, just at Sunny Cowell. And then YouTube, same, it's just Sunny Cowell is my YouTube channel. And Facebook, Sunny Cowell.
So you have a YouTube channel. So let's share that with our viewers. You have a YouTube channel that folks can subscribe to. I believe my team subscribed me today. Awesome. We've listened to your music, we've downloaded it. So folks, we need you tuning in, you're watching and listening. You can download Apple Music. If one person downloads a song, it's only what, 99 cents? So it's, that's folks out there partying and drinking. Check it out, listen, because it's good music. It's really good music. It's what would you classify your music as?
I mean, I would say in general, it's in the R&B or soul category,
Mhm.
but I kind of play around within that. So I have stuff that's more like acoustic R&B, then I have some things that are more like Baltimore club
Mhm,
kind of
mhm.
R&B, more pop R&B.
See, so
Um,
because when I hear, so one, you have a lovely voice. Let me say that. Um, I hear it's like there's like a blend of a little R&B, pop, jazz,
mhm.
acoustic, soul. That's the kind of flavor I get when I listen to your music, which all of that I enjoy. There's no rock and roll in there, but who knows? Is there rock and roll in the future for Sunny Cowell?
Maybe. Yeah, I'm very open when it comes to genre. I don't think people should be pigeonholed in one
Right.
thing.
So one of the things you mentioned earlier, again, when I hear acoustic, I know that you play the guitar.
Mhm.
I've seen that in some of your videos. What other instruments do you play?
So I also play the violin and the viola,
Mm.
um, and I sing. So that's it. So I guess that's four instruments.
Now,
Um, mhm.
do you have a favorite? Do you prefer one versus the other?
Um, honestly, this is gonna sound funny, but it's about utility for me. So like I picked up the guitar because I realized I didn't want to have to rely on other musicians to perform with me live.
Mm.
So I wanted to be able to accompany myself. So that's why I picked that up. Um, but I really like the viola. I mean, it adds unexpected flavor to pretty much anything, any song.
Oh, really?
Um,
You wouldn't happen to have a viola handy, would you?
oh yeah, it's way upstairs.
We'll do
Next
that.
time.
This is Be Exposed Radio. We will pop out for you. You know,
Maybe, yeah,
do
next time I'll be prepared. I'll have that with me.
okay,
Um,
okay,
but you
okay.
can hear the viola on the album. Here with me, there's viola throughout it. I do a lot of my own backgrounds with viola.
Yes, yes, and in the video, because I was at the video location. I didn't see myself in the actual video, but that was pretty dope. That was like an upbeat. Um, what's the word I want to use? It was a real upbeat song, party, having fun, like,
Mhm.
hey, I belong here, type vibe.
Yeah.
What brought that on? Because I don't think we had that discussion.
Oh yeah. Well, so I co-wrote that song with Neil.
Okay.
Neil Feldman is his real name, but he goes by Neil Nines now.
Yes,
Um,
yes, and he was on the show as well as
yeah,
TT the artist. So shouts out to those folks as well.
right. So we co-wrote that song, and actually, so that song came about because we were sitting around and he was contemplating moving out to LA.
Mhm.
And we were thinking, doesn't it seem like once you get to a certain level as an artist in Baltimore, it seems like you have to move, to LA or New York City or something. And we were like, we should write a song that's about like keeping talent here and telling people like you belong here, like don't leave, like this is this is a place, like let's stay here and grow Baltimore, basically.
Now I didn't know that.
Yeah, I guess that didn't come up the last time.
No,
You
no,
were on the
it
show.
did. I'm trying to think. But that's interesting. I didn't. Yeah, that's well articulated as to why that came. Because I get that sense too. Like artists, and you come to a place, and once you get to that certain level, you feel like you need to go to New York or
Mhm.
LA. And I think it's not just with music. I think that's also when it comes to acting.
Yeah.
Folks in a certain industry, folks feel like they need to move to a different location, to these places that are known more, the Mecca, Hollywood, and again, New York is New York. You can't go wrong there. But I
Right.
think so. That's good to hear. I'm glad he stayed too, though. You didn't have any
Yeah.
ideas of moving away, did you?
No, I didn't. I mean, I'm from here and from Maryland, and my family is here. So I probably wouldn't move anyway. But I just feel like we live in a world now that's so connected. Like, I
Mm,
don't feel like we have to just up and move places. Like, a lot of the people I'm working with, they are living out in LA, like TT. So,
right, right. Yep.
so it's like I might as well stay here and you like cultivate the scene.
Absolutely. And I mean, that's what works. And again, this day and age, you don't have to necessarily be in those locations.
Right.
So that's what's up. So let's talk about this thing you call an attorney. So how are you incorporating being an attorney and your music? And I asked that question because um, I believe there was some event that you were at, you were part of, and I believe there was some connection. So how do you incorporate being an attorney and your music or the
Yeah.
music industry?
Sure. Yeah. And I'm glad you asked that question because there are some new things in the works regarding that now. So, first, I am on the board of Maryland Volunteer Lawyers for the Arts. So, I help to match attorneys, entertainment attorneys with artists, and it's free. So, these are
Oh.
attorneys volunteering their time. So, if somebody, needs a performance contract or they've even dealt with housing issues, just artists who are about to be evicted or anything regarding your life as an artist.
Mhm.
You know you can be referred to Maryland Volunteer Lawyers for the Arts. um, and that being said, so I mentioned that my dad passed and he had a nonprofit, or has a nonprofit called the Piano Choir Incorporated. And
Mhm.
so he, when he was alive, he would go into schools, and he would put on music programming all over the country. So he would do, jazz workshops, and he would give talks, and he would bring concerts to different venues. So I've taken over that nonprofit now, and I'm going to be revamping it. And part of that, I'm going to be offering legal information services to artists as well, because I noticed that even though we have Maryland Volunteer Lawyers for the Arts, there's a backlog. There's so much need that artists have, and sometimes they wait months and months to be placed with an attorney. So what I started doing, because a lot of times, in this artist community, people always refer, other people to me saying, oh, can you guide this person? They need help with this, help with that. It's taken too long for them to find like another attorney. So what I'm going to do, and, I can't practice outside law. I work for another organization, so I'm not doing outside practice of law, but what I'm offering is legal information for people. So
And
saying,
that's key.
yeah,
That's key,
so
right?
exactly. So if somebody is saying, okay, well, I need a contract for a festival or I need a performance contract or something like that, I'll say, okay, well, these are the kind of things that should be in this type of contract. And here are a bunch of examples of
Mhm.
contracts that you can use. So I try to guide people so they can learn how to do these things on their own and kind of even save money in the process, right? And educate themselves. Um, but for a small consultation fee, I'll teach them, how to resolve these problems on their
Wow.
own.
That's what's up, right? At the end of the day, it's a win-win, because
Yep.
some folks don't want to share information. So I commend you
Right.
on doing that. And there's nothing wrong with getting a little something for your troubles, but I think it's
Mhm.
more of a motivating factor to help someone succeed in terms of that. Because again, being an artist is it's no easy feat, right?
No.
It's no easy feat. So tell us, who would you like to perform with in the near future? Who do you see yourself perform? So that's two questions. Who do you see yourself performing with, and who would you like to perform with in the near future?
I really like the artist Khalid. Like, it would be really cool to perform with him. I really like her. Um,
Who?
her,
No,
Her,
no,
her. Is that like,
no,
know,
I couldn't
um,
resist. You gave me the look like, wait a minute, you don't know who hers?
I know.
No,
um,
okay.
yeah, so I like her, and I like who else? There are a lot of artists. I like Snow Allegra. I like Ari
Ah,
Lennox. Um, I like, in terms of producers, I really like Pharrell Williams. I've always wanted to like collaborate with him.
Now, do you have a manager, or who's your a management company that you work with? Can I ask that?
So I manage myself, but
Okay,
I do
self-managed.
have, yeah, so I do have Heidi Klotzman though, who is my agent. So she books different live music
Okay.
gigs.
Okay. Yes, Heidi was on the show as well. I haven't talked to
Yeah.
Heidi in a while.
Mhm.
Shouts out to Heidi, Hide and Seek Entertainment. That's my girl.
Yep.
That's my girl. Okay, so when are we gonna make those things happen? When are we gonna make those things happen? Those artists, because it's
Well, we'll see. I got to put out an album first.
yeah. Okay.
So
I
yeah,
guess
so
that
we're
facts. Facts. I guess.
facts. Yeah. So we're building momentum, releasing the singles, and then in very soon I have another song coming out on the Club Queens compilation album as well. So besides my album, somehow I've ended up on 5 other songs coming out this year too that are
Ah.
singles. So there'll be a slew of music. You'll see.
Okay. I mean, this is the time to get it out because usually, winter, and then when it gets warm and you got a couple of headbangers, folks like to roll the window down, have the music playing in the summertime. So
Yep.
this is there. So you said 5 from other artists.
Yeah. So I'm on a remix with Ernest Third. He's a
Okay.
rapper in Baltimore City. It's very, I don't know, his music gives me kind of like the Lupe Fiasco sort of vibe to it, but I'm singing a hook on that song. And then like I said, I'm doing something on the Club Queens compilation album for TT. And then another song with Mark. And then there are 2 other songs that I co-wrote with other people. So it's a combination of features and my own singles.
Sunny Cowell, Mrs. Sunny Cowell, she is out here working. I love it.
Yep.
So, in terms of advice, what advice would you give someone trying to get into the music industry? Specifically the music industry, right? Because sometimes, folks are like, oh, well, this is for anything. No, music industry is a different animal.
Oh, yeah. It really is. I've learned a lot just over the last like 6 months to a year because, one thing I realized is that no one will do anything for you if you are an artist. So I think it took a long time for me to do anything with my music just because it was the music industry was something I didn't understand. Even though I grew up with a musician father and everything, the landscape has changed so much where you have to be in charge of your own promotion and you have to think of it as a business. You're not just an artist, you're a business. So one thing I realized is like, I'm not just an artist, I'm in sales now. And that's one thing that scared me. And I stayed away from it for a while. I was like, oh, I just want to write music. I don't want to be a business person and all that. But now, it's the norm. It's like you have to make it as an independent artist first before anyone will care about you. And so you have to treat it as your business.
Absolutely. And that's funny that you mention it because again, although, technology has changed and we're able to do a lot more, given the way things are set up. But even, myself getting into this whole radio podcast, being able to, have interviews online versus in the studio, which in the studio is just a lot less for me because I could just show up. Everyone else that put the questions together will do the research, but actually having to kind of know the ins and outs. Like you said, I do the sales, I do the marketing and everything else. So I appreciate Monty who he sets up everything remotely, but that is key. So you feel knowing having to really get into that industry of doing sales versus, hey, I just want to sing. Right?
Exactly. I know. And I still feel that way a lot of the time, but I think I had to ask myself, well, it was actually a book that I read that kind of made me think this way. It's by Mark Manson. A lot of people have read it. It's an orange book, How Not to Give a F about anything.
Oh, oh.
Yeah, it's a really good book, but basically, the question he asks is, what problems do you care about solving in your
Mm,
life? And so I asked myself, I said, as much as I love being a lawyer, I don't really want to stay up at night 24 hours writing briefs for people and doing grunt work like that, but I will stay up at night to get a music track right. And I've
mm.
done that several times. So I recognize I care enough about this that I'm willing to solve these problems.
Right, right.
So that's when I said, you know what? It's not going to be easy, but I'm going to grab my marketing books. I'm going to learn everything I need to learn about the music industry as well as putting out music. It's not going to happen overnight, but I have to go all in.
Yeah,
So that
absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely. And,
that's
you,
what
and
it
you're doing a
takes.
good, and you're doing a good job. You're doing a good job. Because I was going to ask how is that balance of, so again, now you're married, you got family, you got, you're an attorney, which I'm sure is demanding, and then the
Mhm.
music, and then you got to wear so many hats within the music. How do you actually balance it all?
Well, I wake up early, so I wake up at 6 a.m. every day.
I think folks like you and I, and this, you wake up early. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, because you kind of have to. And actually, I mean, I think you'll find if you manage your time, you have more time than you think in the course
Mm,
of a day, right? So I kind of just plan out things. I'll say, okay, I'm going to spend every day, no matter what, I have to spend an hour on my music, whether it's practicing, whether it's marketing it. There's a time slot every day for working on music. There's a time slot for exercising. And the good thing is that with my law job, I just do consulting work.
mhm.
So it makes it so it's just like a 9 to 5 sort of situation. Every once in a while, I have to do something outside of that. But for the most part, I can just say I'm going to do law stuff between these hours. And then after that, it's like family time. It's, you know, working on music or doing interviews
Yeah,
or,
yeah,
so it's
yeah,
just, yeah, it's just about balancing it, making a schedule and sticking to it.
yeah. As I like to say, I'll drink to that.
Mm-hmm.
Facts. Well, facts,
Facts.
then I'll drink to that.
Yeah.
Feel free to live in a rich life mugs. Facts. One of my favorite sayings coming
I
out.
like
Do you,
that.
do you even have a shirt or a mug? You don't have either one of these, do you?
Oh, no. Yes, I should get one of
We're gonna
those.
we're gonna fix that. Don't worry.
Okay.
We're gonna fix that. So tell us what's next for Sunny Cowell music?
Um, well, I have my first merch item coming out. So we're just gonna start small with my logo. I have a new logo now with a QR code on some stickers. So you can, get some merch and, put it up in any bar you go into and just kind of put Sunny Cal out there. So I have some new stickers coming out. Um, I've mainly been doing a lot of like private performance events, but
Oh,
I there
okay.
will probably be some other performance events coming down the pike during the summer that the general public can attend.
Now that the
And
world's, I mean, because you think the world is opening? I guess as the world opens more.
yeah, I mean there are some performances happening every once in a while, but yeah, it's not regular yet. So we'll see. And who knows? Like some other variant might come and then like there won't be any. So
Lord, we laugh, but we don't want no more variants. I tell
right.
you,
um
that's real.
yeah, so we got to figure out the performance stuff. I think as artists, many of us are trying to figure that out. But there will be there's more content coming out very soon. So every month there's going to be either a new song or a new performance video or something coming out.
Okay, nice, nice. Now, so you're having more private events, right? We talked about who you might want to work with. Tell us, where would you like to perform, right? You got these big centers, these big, auditoriums. Where,
Mhm.
where, where can we look for Sunny Cow in the future? Radio City Music Hall?
Maybe. I don't know. I haven't really thought about that. I mean, I would say more locally, like places in DC, like Blues Alley or like.
Yeah. To see, I asked that question because I could see that happening, well, pretty soon, pretty quickly.
Mhm. Yeah.
Blues Alley. There's even a place out in um Annapolis where they have, again, I have small intimate places
Right.
which I really enjoy.
Mhm.
Being able to see a lot of big headliners, and I can see you performing in those settings.
Mhm.
That it's intimate. I mean, your songs are very powerful. Again, we carry your voice very well. That's just me. I'm a fan, so that's
Thank you.
that's how it is. And then there's places here in the Baltimore area that I think you're able to capitalize on now that are actually open, and it'd be a good opportunity, especially with your new single, Nothing Else. And again, I don't know how that works if you want to perform some of your other songs,
Mhm.
what you would need, right? But
Yeah. Well, so also Keystone Corner in Baltimore. I'm friends with the owner there. So we've been talking about that, Heidi and I. So I think it might be cool to do basically take some of her other artists and incorporate them
yes,
to the show.
yes,
And then, I would go on last and perform, like 5 of my songs or something and make it like a CD release sort of party.
hmm,
And so what I'd probably do is I'd have for like Nothing Else, for more kind of like commercial pop songs, I'd have Mighty Mark up there on the turntables, up there with me performing. But then I'd also incorporate some more like jazz or acoustic artists that I know that play other instruments in some of the other songs
and
to make it more of like an intimate sort of thing.
yeah, because you perform that Keystone Corner, yeah. So that resource there, we
Yeah.
we
Hmm.
need to make that happen sooner than later. I'll
Yeah.
be there.
Yeah. Yeah. So who knows? This summer, it's likely that that could happen. So it's definitely something we're talking about with people.
Very nice. Yeah, Keystone Corner. That's they got a lot going on down that area now. So that's
Hmm.
I'm going to look for that to happen. So can you share with folks again how they can get copies of your current music, some of your previous music, again, your album Insecure, things of that nature. Share that with our viewers, as some folks seem to ping me.
Sure. Yeah, you can. Well, I mentioned before, all the streaming services. So Apple Music, Spotify, Tidal, all of my music is on there, including the EP Insecure. Also, you can go to Bandcamp, and you can, support me by purchasing the EP or purchasing the song Nothing Else as well.
Nice. All right, you heard it. You heard it first, folks. Again, if you go to Sunny Cowell Music, that's your IG, right?
Yeah. Oh, and also my website is sunnycowellmusic.com.
Okay, and I know from Instagram, you can get to everything pretty easily.
Hmm.
All right, you click on
Right.
that. It gives you samples, so you can actually sample, hear the song, and hear parts of the song, and then I'm sure you're gonna like what you hear, and then go ahead and download it. Right. So
Yep.
that'll be a good look. That'll be a good look. I
Absolutely.
don't know why people call me when I'm on the air. That doesn't make sense. You can send a message in the text box. I don't get it. I don't get it. So anyway, all right. So thank you for that.
Mhm.
Wait a minute. Hold on here. See, this must be urgent, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hello? Hello? I can. Is this Lee? Listen, so you gotta, I sent you the link. It's my other guest. I sent the link to your email. Yes, click on the link. All right, talk to you soon. Good gosh.
Yeah. Well, she's got to coordinate, getting on.
Well, that's a whole nother Othello.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, we'll continue. So what we're going to do, Sunny, as this is Women's Month, Women's History Month, and I am all the women that have been on my show. I'm trying to make sure I put a little extra effort in supporting their efforts and what they're doing. So for those that are watching and tuning in, I am going to include a link from Living a Rich Life that's going to go directly to yours, Nothing Else, featuring TT the Artist and Mighty Mark. Say that fast. So that'll put your information out there, and that's going to be free of charge. Just give you something. I think it's nice. Good. We can support each other, and that's my gift to you for being an amazing woman, an amazing artist. And again, I've always enjoyed your sound of your voice. It's unique, and I think hearing something different, and the music's good. You know.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, that always helps when the music's good. So with that being said, I normally ask my guests 2 questions, and I don't think I've asked this the last time. I'm almost certain I asked 1 question, but I don't think I asked, what would you say is your superpower?
I think my superpower is probably emotional intelligence. I'm pretty good at reading the room.
That's a good book, by the way.
Yeah. But I think that's related to me being an attorney, having to pull information out of people.
That's a whole nother conversation. That's a whole nother conversation. So as you know, I like to play games sometimes. So I'm going to spare you this time, though. But okay. I will say, when it comes to music, and I guess maybe you are old enough. So CDs, do you still have CDs?
I do, yeah.
So CDs or MP3s? What are they called? MP3s or MP4s? Which ones would you prefer to listen to nowadays?
MP3s or MP4s.
Okay.
Yeah.
No CDs.
For me now.
Are you a reader? So when you read music now, how is that done? That's a good question. I just popped up with that. Damn, that boy's good. So when it comes to music, right? You have song sheets. Is that still a thing, or is that all on a tablet now? Right.
Well, okay. So I guess as a relative pop R&B music person, we don't really have song sheets, but if I'm performing with a jazz band, we have song sheets, just kind of laying out what the chords are and everything, so you can improvise.
Okay.
But yeah, usually, and I guess we could have it if we do some other style of music, but generally, I've never seen a song sheet.
Now that's a new question, because I'm sitting there thinking, I'm used to seeing, in my daughter, she's in the band, and she's playing the flute and all this other good stuff. So they still flipping pages.
Yeah. It depends on if you're playing with. So if I performed with an orchestra or something, or a small quartet, they would have sheet music that they'd be reading from while performing. But sometimes if it's a very, if you just know the song and it's maybe only one person you're playing with, then maybe they have memorized it. So, but yeah, song sheets are still important. So that's
okay. Real quick here, I'll tell you what, people. So I'm just gonna turn this thing off one day. So, but anyway, so I want to thank you for joining again. This was a lot of fun. I learned some new things. So again, folks that are watching and tuning in, please follow Mrs. Sunny Cowell, Sunny Cowell Music. And until next time, I want you to continue to be inspired to live a rich life.
Thank you. I will. All
Talk
right.
to you soon. I'll let you know once that link is, and send me that link where you singing that the song that you wrote when you was young.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, sorry. I just want to say it's not me singing. I wrote the song.
Wrote the song.
But I've never, yeah. So.
Okay.
But I'm just the composer.
But okay. I'm about to say it's like a little Michael Jackson.
Yeah. No. All right.
Thanks, Teddy. Talk to you soon.
You.
All right. There you have it. This is Sunny Cowell. and amazing artist. So we're going to keep this thing going. Our second guest, her passion is helping women get into the best shape of their lives, known for helping women achieve a smaller waist and bigger booty without tea, shakes, or surgery by following her step-by-step nutrition and training program. Please welcome bodybuilder, personal trainer, and founder of Booty by Lee, Miss Lee Wise Diaz. Welcome.
Hello.
How are you doing today?
I'm good.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for joining.
Thank you for having me.
I know you have, you probably got a client. Most of when I have fitness folks on, they got clients around 7 o'clock. So we'll try to get you in and out and inspire some other folks while we have you on the line. How does that sound?
That sounds great. I was actually going to tell you, I apologize for my background. I'm in my car. I'm always on the go. And I definitely do have a couple of clients at 7.
Oh, okay. See, so that's all right. Well, this is Be Exposed Radio, so we'll expose you right now. That's all. So, question for you, Lee. How long have you been doing fitness? How you been in the fitness world?
I've been in the fitness industry for about 7 years now.
7 years now. My team dug up some information on you, and were you competing? Because again, as a bodybuilder, I think of competition. So were you competing, and are you still competing?
Yes. So actually, I started competing like 2017. So I did about 3 competitions. I'm currently not competing. I am still a bodybuilder, but I'm just not competing.
Okay. Well, that's what's up. Tell us, what are some of the, so you have a nutrition and training program, right? So you have your personal trainer. What can you share a few steps of your nutrition and training program? What does that look like?
So I can't give you all the details. That's actually that's a check. But basically teaching women what to eat, how to eat, and when to eat it. And then also specific training that is strategically to build your glutes and shrink your waist.
Oh, your glutes. I'm sorry, where's your glutes at?
That would be your booty.
Okay,
Yeah.
I mean, I know that. I know that, but someone's like glutes. What you hear the term gluteus maximus, right?
Yes.
So,
yep.
Okay, so now you do I want to say cater, or you focus on women fitness?
I primarily work with women. However, I'm open to working with men as well. Yeah, so I don't want to limit myself to just women, but yes, primarily women.
Absolutely. Now, when it comes to as a bodybuilder, I think of, I think of free weights. I think of folks, that's weightlifting. Is there any recommendation free weights versus, the weights with machines when you're working out? What do you think? What's better? What would you say is better? Is one better than the other?
So I actually use a combination of the two. You really just want to completely exhaust that muscle. Weight, like if you're using dumbbells instead of the machine, that is typically better because you're going to be engaging your core. So it's going to help you with your mobility and just really building your core. When you start to use the machines, depending on which machines you're using, you're then eliminating your core. So you're taking away the part of building your core.
Okay, that's interesting. I always learn stuff. I love when I interview folks and I learn things, because I'm trying to really get, one of my principles of living a rich life is good health. It's the number one.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm not fat. Let my doctor tell it. I am obese, but I struggle with being motivated and discipline. What keeps you motivated and disciplined? Because that's serious. I mean, you look pretty fit. That's the first thing.
So I always say motivation is one of those things that kind of comes and goes. So for the motivational piece, it comes to your mindset and just really listening to podcasts and doing your affirmations. But because motivation comes and goes, it's more so about your drive. So what drives you? What has you that driven? So for me personally, I'm results driven. So when I see results, it makes me want to be more consistent. It's like, okay, I see a little ab poking. So if I can just be a little bit more consistent for these next, I don't know, 21 days, can I see maybe another ab on the other side poke out? So yeah, just results.
That's what, okay. Now, you mentioned, so food, I like food, right?
Yes. Mhm.
That's probably a key. That's what I keep hearing. And again, you are actually my third fitness person I've had on the show. Food seems to be a
Yes.
major factor. How important is food? The food that you eat regarding fitness. How important is that?
So food is probably more important than your training.
Mhm.
So a lot of people overtrain and undereat. Your food is what your nutrition is what is going to get you the results. So food is super important. Making sure you're consuming enough calories to be able to support those workouts.
Oh, okay, okay. So I think I'd be pretty good if I just watch what I eat.
Yes, if your diet's right, then you'll be fine. I'm also a foodie. I love to eat. That's part of the reason why I work out so frequently is because I just really love to eat.
she,
Yeah.
she said that with a lot of confidence. I just love to eat. So you always often hear things, myths about working out, again, what you eat. Can you share any fitness myths known to be true or not true?
I have a couple of fitness myths. So a lot of women think that if you lift heavy, that you're gonna look like a man, you're gonna get bulky. It's not true. It actually helps to build like, like your curves and maintain everything. And then on top of that, I know some people stop eating after 7 o'clock because they think they're gonna gain weight, but it's really all about balance. If you're up past 7 and your stomach's growling, then you should eat. But it's like it's about what you're eating. So certainly not going for like that piece of cake or that piece of pie, but having like some protein and some veggies, something light that's not going to be too heavy right before you go to sleep.
Gotcha, gotcha. I laugh because it's that's just that's a well-known myth.
Yes.
Um, yeah. So how do you how did you get into fitness and why? I want to just take a step back. How did you actually get into fitness? Were you a fat kid? Um,
So, I never was into fitness. No one in my family is into fitness. I just actually took a look at my life and how it was trending. So I was overweight at some point. I always joke and say, I was shaped kind of like SpongeBob, so really top heavy and like little tiny legs. And I went out one night, like photographers, when you go out, they take pictures of you. You're not
mhm.
looking. One of the pictures like surfaced online. I saw it and I'm like, oh my God. Like,
Oh
who
my
are my
gosh.
friends? Like, why didn't you guys tell me that I was fat? So really you just have to get to a point where you get tired of your own bullshit. So I was just
Mm,
like, all right, like I have to do something to change my life because if I keep doing what I'm doing, I'm going to keep getting the same results, right? So the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results.
absolutely.
So that's when I made the life change. I got into like Herbalife nutrition. I got like super heavy into like Herbalife. And that's what's really like kicked off my fitness journey. And
Okay.
then from there, it's just been history.
Facts. And how often do you work out?
So typically, probably like 4 to 5 times a week. I do have rest days because in order for your muscles to grow, it's important that you do rest.
Oh, 4 or 5 days. I mean, there's only 7 days in a week.
Yes.
She like, and I say that because you know someone like me, because I mean I don't, I'm not as young as I look, and I just don't bounce back like I used to. And being fit, I was a lot fitter back in the days, but again, I'm not fat, and I don't like to work out. Long story short, right? So, what other activities would you recommend to help stay active for someone that doesn't like to work out?
So really the diet is going to be key. So if you miss a day of training, as long as your diet is on point, then you should be good to go. Other than that, I just say you can do an active rest day where you're still moving around. So the point is just to not be still. So if you're going
Mm.
for like a quick little walk, even if it's just around the mall, like retail therapy, fine, that counts. That's your active rest day. Because you're still getting out, you're moving around, running errands, like that counts as well. But not just staying in the bed all day long. You don't want to do that.
Oh, okay. Well, I can do that because I love to shop.
Exactly.
Oh, I love to shop. So you ain't saying nothing but a word. You ain't saying nothing but a
Yeah.
word. All right. So Lee, can you share with our viewers how they can get connected with you?
Absolutely. So my personal Instagram account is at Fit Like Lee. So that's FITLIKELEE. And then my business page, it's actually under construction. So I do have to give you that disclaimer before you go and look at it. It's Booty by Lee. So that's BOOTYBYLEE.
Yes, because I was going to ask, Booty by Lee. What prompted that name? That's a interesting name.
So a lot of times in personal training, you hear body by so and so. So I'm like,
Yes.
everyone has a body by page, but what is going to make mine different? So since I specialize in building the booty, like the posterior chain, I decided to go with Booty by Lee. And then more so, just the initial. So if you take the initial out of each word in the name, it's BBL. So, like the trend
Mhm.
right now, a lot of women are going to get surgery done. They're getting BBLs done. So it's just the poor man's plastic surgery. So Booty
Okay.
by Lee. Yep.
I like it. I like it. So Ashira, who just joined our chat. Hello, new to this live. Well, welcome, Ashira. Thank you for joining. If you need a fitness trainer, then you can go to it's like Lee Wise Diaz, and you can go to her Instagram and check her out. I don't know if that's someone you know or not, but they just chimed in.
Okay.
Yeah, so let's keep this going. So, in terms of exercise, do you have certain exercises that I guess again depends on where you're focused on, but are there like specific exercises that for cardio versus you're trying to tone versus strength? Tell us your thoughts on those type of exercises.
So it really depends on your body goals. If you're trying to burn fat, then you can do high intensity cardio. If you're trying to maintain, then you want to do like a steady state. Um, that's pretty much it.
Um,
If you're building, your cardio is going to be little to none, because you're
okay.
trying to build and like bulk up.
So I'm glad you mentioned the word bulk up.
Hmm.
When you hear bulk up, I think of a lot of different products. Um, Tell us about some of the products you personally believe in and what role they play in fitness.
Some of the products I personally believe in. So one of the products that definitely powers me through my workouts would be C4. So I use the C4 energy drink. I use all
Oh,
of their
okay.
energy drinks.
I'm about to say
Yep.
C4 because I come from a family of law enforcement and military. You said C4. I was shocked. Whoa, wait a minute.
No, C4 is a supplement. So they have energy drinks, but it's an amazing brand. They also have like glutamine, which will help your muscles recover faster after working out. They also have creatine, so that's another supplement that's great to use after you finish working out to kind of like help you build the muscle and repair the muscle after you finish breaking it down from working out.
Okay. And how can someone maybe get a hold of some of that C4 energy?
So I'm going to refer you back to my IG. So at Fit Like Lee, there is a link. I have a link tree in there. Once you click on the link, then you'll enter in my code so you can get a nice little discount, and it'll show you like all of the products that we have to offer.
Oh, excellent. Facts. I'll drink to that. So there's two questions, but before we get into that, I always ask two questions to my guests. But I want to ask you a question in terms of what advice you would give someone trying to get into the fitness industry. If they wanted to be a bodybuilder, if they wanted to become a personal trainer, what advice would you give them?
So there's a few things. If you're trying to get into fitness, you definitely want to find the part of fitness that resonates with you the most. So whether it's yoga, cycling, it may be bodybuilding, it may be body pump. So whichever one just really sticks with you that you really enjoy, and just take it and run with it. And then like any other industry, you want to make sure that you're networking. So for me, I'm always networking with other individuals in the fitness industry.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think I had a couple of folks that had actually started to follow me. And I'm no fitness person, but I think that they connect like that. They see, hey, he knows this person, so it's. I am also the network concierge of the DMV, so that makes sense.
Yes.
So let me ask you, what is your superpower? What would you say your superpower is, Lee?
My superpower would be the ability to influence my environment.
Influence your environment. We'll drop the mic on that right there.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, the second question that I always ask my guests, and as the second guest, normally folks don't get to hear my spiel, but my motto, my 6 elements of living a rich life, as I mentioned, one is good health, strong relationships, financial freedom, goals and achievement, extraordinary experiences, and philanthropy. So that's what living a rich life means to me, and I break it down that way. What does living a rich life mean to you?
Living a rich life, to me, just means living a peaceful, happy life, and also just doing what you love.
Facts. Doing what you love. I love hearing that. Keep it simple. Keep it simple.
Yes.
Okay. So Lee, time comes and goes real quick, but before you leave us, I do want you to stay around for our closing remarks. But share with folks that are just tuning in and watching, what is next for Fit Like Lee?
What is next for me? There's a few things I have lined up. I have a YouTube segment that will be dropping soon, so that'll be on my page. Sunday, March the 16th, I'm doing a boss brunch, and that'll be in Baltimore. So that link is in my link tree as well. And then April 16th, we are doing a urban fitness expo in Baltimore. And then other than that, really next for me is just really building my fitness brand. So there will be like a couple of products that I'll be coming out with under the brand.
Okay, nice. Well, there you have it, folks. That's just tuning in and watching. It's Lee Wise Diaz, bodybuilder, personal trainer. You can follow her on IG, Fit Like Lee. I love the name, by the way. It flows. It flows. This is a part of the show that I always hate. It's Living a Rich Life closing remarks, because I have to say goodnight. So stick around, because I'm going to do that right now. As I go through this thing called life, I am choosing people who celebrate my accomplishments as if they were their own. Why? Because we can all win. My life is constantly changing because there's always room for improvement. And if I can improve, so can you. I want to say thank you to Sunny Cowell and Lee Wise Diaz for sharing your story. If you have an inspiring story to tell, you can contact us at livingarich.life.net. Hit the contact button, put your story in there. Until next week, continue to be inspired to live a rich life. This is Rich James saying goodnight, and thank you for tuning in to BeExposedRadio.com. Ain't no better place to be. Have a good night. Boom, boom, boom. I think my producer, he does his thing. So Lee, you're on mute.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, there we go. He closed us out. Yeah.
I'm like, I realized the sun went down.